So EMDR is a tool that we have here, or a method that we can use to treat trauma, but it's a one step out of multiple. Think of trauma recovery as a three-stage process. So the first stage is safety. The second is remembrance and mourning, which is where EMDR falls under. And then the third is reconnection. Stage one in trauma recovery is probably the most important, because some people may never get to stage two because stage one's enough. And what stage one is learning the coping skills and to deal with the stress that can come from PTSD symptoms, and also just being aware that you have PTSD symptoms. So having that awareness is a comfort, and then knowing you have the tools to be able to deal with that type of stress or distress is another big comfort, and also empowering to be able to know you have that in your toolbox. And another part of it is building that support network, because probably the best coping skill is having healthy, positive connections to be there with you when you're going through those experiences. So stage two, EMDR gets introduced as stage two, where they call it remembrance and mourning, but it's really sharing your story and having someone witness it. So whether it's group members in a group or the therapist you're working with, that person's going to witness your story, and the goal is to help you bring out that story to the forefront, be able to process it so it doesn't continue to relive when you're not in control of it. And EMDR is one of the ways we can help do that. EMDR itself, a lot of people think it's the back and forth movement, but that's just one part of it. The bilateral stimulation or movement is to replicate rapid eye movement during your sleep. The theory behind it is that it will massage those memories that are stuck in the old part of your brain, which only senses images or feelings, and that's why when you go out through the day and you have PTSD, it randomly comes up, whether it's anxiety or mood swings or freezes or nightmares or flashbacks. So it just keeps popping in, and the goal is for EMDR to help push those memories forward to the cortex, or the part of the brain that files these memories away and takes away what it needs and gets rid of what it doesn't need, and lets your brain settle on, okay, this happened, we know what to take from it, and we can move on. So EMDR is not going to take away the trauma or the memories, it's just going to help you look at it. I always say this with clients, it's about seeing it as a rerun and not seeing it for the movie as a first time. Because if you see the movie for the first time, you don't know what's coming, and you're stuck in that anxiety of what's happening, what emotions am I feeling, what am I seeing? Whereas if a rerun, you know what's coming, you know what's happened, you know where you are, and you know where you're moving forward. So that's the goal. It's not going to take them away, they're still going to be sad, but you are going to be able to go about your day much better. EMDR has been proven effective. It's research-based and it's evidence-based. A lot of clients are more often comfortable with EMDR than perhaps prolonged exposure therapy, because you don't necessarily have to share every single detail of your story when you're going through EMDR. You can think it can come up for you, but you don't always have to share it. But being able to share how you're feeling, share how you're reacting, and share that new images are coming up is enough for the EMDR process. So for people that don't necessarily want to dive into share every single detail, comb over it, and have the homework that you get in prolonged exposure therapy that often people think is anxiety provoking, EMDR is another alternative that you can use, and it's more at your pace, more controlled, and it's maybe less intimidating. So that's why it's very helpful for those who are not too excited about sharing their story with other methods.